For some reason, every time I post this one video, it gets millions of views, even though a lot of my content is around this same topic. This is the one that always seems to hit for people. So if you haven't already seen this, here it is. Imagine if today somebody gave you a check for $1 million and you went to deposit it at your bank and the bank said, okay, great, like this will clear in the next 10 business days because it's a big check and the bank has to work it out. So now for those following business days, you'd be walking around with this high energy outputting into the universe of you feeling wealthy and abundant and happy and excited and satisfied. And as a result, living from that level of energy would produce all these other experiences that are on that level of excitement and abundance and prosperity, right? Even though you don't have a dollar to spend yet, you'd just be walking around all that time knowing, right? It's a knowing. It's not even like hoping anymore because you know that the funds are going to be released on that certain day or whatever. Or imagine if somebody came to you today and said, hey, here's your dream job. They just offer you your dream job. It's the perfect career that you've always wanted. And they say, you start in 2 weeks. And now as you're going around throughout these 2 weeks, you would just be knowing that you're that person you want to be. You're living that life you want to live. You have that amazing career you've always wanted, even though you haven't worked one day yet. You're just walking around and operating from this level of energy, of excitement and joy, satisfaction. And as a result, because that's where your energy is, you become a vibrational match to all these other experiences that are so joyful and so abundant and so satisfying, right? So comfortable and all this. But nothing's really changed. It's just that you gave permission to a condition to allow yourself to feel an emotion, right? And I truly believe that if we can generate that emotion first, if we can conjure the emotion that we want to conjure, then many manifestations can come to match that vibration, right? And we see it all the time, like in the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, for instance, where these people with terminal illnesses, they're able to heal themselves because they're able to occupy an identity that says I'm already healed, and to be able to sustain it long enough until physical reality captures or catches up to the energy, right? Because in the same way, if you play a sound and it creates a vibration or it creates a waveform, in the same way that when you play that sound, it's the exact sound, the exact same waveform will always be created, right? So I believe if you can create the waveform, then you'll hear the sound, right? You can go back and forth with it. It can be one thing and then the other, or that thing and then the other, right? You can flip it. And I think ultimately this comes down to changing our sort of mentality of I'll believe it when I see it to I'll see it when I believe it. When I know that I am that person I want to be, then I'll start acting like that person and doing the things to bring those things to me. Like when I truly know it first, instead of being like, yeah, once it happens, I'll feel the feeling, right? Really all you want is the feeling, right? So if we can make our work generating the emotion as much as possible, so many things can swiftly come into our life to manifest that are a part of that vibration, right? That are on level with that experience that we're seeking, with that emotion that we're seeking. And at the same time, I understand all of this intellectually, but even still, if I were to operate from feeling that feeling of being just handed the $1 million or whatever, I can do it for a while, but still, the doubt starts to creep in and it steals the good seed that you've planted, right? And that's what doubt does. And it's funny because some of our doubts or our limited beliefs are so subtle or so nuanced. For instance, okay, let's go to the money thing. I truly believe that I'm going to be financially wealthy one day. I've always believed that. I've always felt that. That just feels natural to me. But one of my limiting thoughts around that is that it's yeah, but probably not today. Probably not tomorrow. Probably not this week, right? And it's funny because whenever I realize that, it's oh, those are the thoughts that I need to kind of soften a little bit and say, hey, you know what? It could happen sooner than I realize. I could have a great idea this week that I just follow my bliss on, and all of a sudden this amazing, empire gets built, or who knows? Things happen all the time, right? And so I think it's about catching those beliefs, softening them, realizing that those are the things that come in and steal the seed that we've planted. So we start making our work to just be plant the seed, continually water it, recognize if something's come in and swept in and pulled it out, work on that thought, let it soften, then go plant the seed again and just focus on watering it. Before you know it, all kinds of manifestations can come to match the vibration that you're holding, and you don't need to insist on it being a specific manifestation, because remember, the emotion is all you want to feel. So let's say, you know, if you want one specific thing, let's say you want to be with a specific person, right? And so you're operating from feeling like you're already there and living that type of like relationship and whatever. And then if another person comes in, don't just be so quick to like deflect them, be like, no, I'm looking over here, because again, what you want is the emotion that you think the experience is going to provide. But what if that emotion is actually going to be felt over here instead of over there? So it's also about being detached from the specifics of the outcome, but generating the general emotion that you're seeking, and then allowing manifestations to come into place that are a vibrational match to that emotion.